All right, so Kyle Shanahan just met with the media prior to Wednesday's practice in Santa Clara, leading up to Week 1 against the Detroit Lions on Sunday, and touched on a number of important and notable things. That's what we're getting to on today's video. Injury updates on Jalen Hurd, Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, as well as a full injury report heading into the season opener. Kyle Shanahan also named the San Francisco 49ers captains for the 2021 NFL season and has an update on Josh Norman. All of that is coming up, but first, a reminder to hit that red subscribe button down below. As you're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports, I am your host, Chase Sr., because whether we're at the Chat Sports studios or at home on an off day, we bring you year-round coverage on the 49ers. So first up, probably the most notable nugget to come out of this press conference, Kyle Shanahan saying today on Wednesday that Jalen Hurd, who initially made the 53-man roster, is an IR candidate because Kyle Shanahan did mention that could give him more time to get ready coming off that torn ACL, which he suffered in training camp last year, and the back injury he suffered as a rookie. You're now looking at a player who made the initial 53-man roster, was drafted in the third round in 2019, has only played in 2 preseason games, and has not taken a regular season snap. But the potential and where he was drafted is what helped him make the 53-man roster. He performed well in that season finale against the Las Vegas Raiders in the preseason, but it's looking like potentially Jalen Hurd could be going on the IR and miss the first several weeks of the season. Of course, we'll continue to monitor that. Not much of a surprise because Jalen Hurd, unfortunately, since getting drafted, with all of the potential that he has, the fascinating story that he's been, starting his collegiate career as a running back, moving to wide receiver, having a lot of success at that position, getting drafted high by the 49ers, he's been haunted by injuries. Next up, more injury news, this time on Trey Lance. So in that preseason finale against the Raiders, chipped a bone in his finger, right index finger, on his throwing hand against the Raiders to close out the preseason. Didn't practice for about a week. Kyle Shanahan, after he returned to practice on Monday, said today the hope is that Trey Lance is going to be able to take snaps and throw passes. He did not do that on Monday. Shanahan thinks that Lance will be able to make some throws in the shadows of Levi Stadium at practice on Wednesday, but is not sure if he is going to suit up and play yet against the Detroit Lions. Sticking with the quarterback position, I found this pretty funny. Kyle Shanahan said/joked that the media has been, quote, hard-headed for continually asking him who the starting quarterback is going to be. He said, I've refused to answer that question because I feel as though I've made it pretty clear since about July. And he kind of has. My stance on this the entire time: if Trey Lance is ready to play, you play him. If he's not ready to play, you have a fully capable quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, who helped lead this team to the Super Bowl back in 2019. When healthy, and that's the big question and the big concern, but when healthy, he's been a very productive quarterback. And I've also mentioned this: the Niners as an organization are in a great spot because they're not in a rush to play Trey Lance because he does look a little raw. Not much of a surprise. He played 1 game because of COVID in 2020, and that shortened season at North Dakota State, attempted around 300 plus passes throughout his college career. So we knew he was going to be a bit raw, but the great situation for the Niners, if he wasn't ready to go, you have Jimmy Garoppolo to be the starter. And Kyle Shanahan basically saying once again that Garoppolo is going to start in Week 1. Not much of a surprise there. Shanahan did name the captains for the upcoming 2021 NFL season. Here are the guys: Trent Williams, George Kittle, Fred Warner, Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert, Jimmy Ward, and Eric Armstead. 7 captains, all of them great team leaders, all of them impact players on this Niners roster going into this season. Another notable thing that Shanahan said, especially considering what Dee Ford said the other day about him potentially being on a pitch count to start the year against the Lions, Kyle Shanahan said, no pitch counts for Dee Ford, no pitch counts for Nick Bosa. He's going to work a rotation, him and DeMeco Ryans, along the defensive line. I like that strategy. Keep your studs along that ferocious front fresh, and you can rotate a lot of very, very talented players along that line in to keep those guys fresh for the 17-game schedule this year. And I think the Niners are going to be able to do that because they're about 8 to 10 deep along that defensive line. 49ers missing practice today. Javon Kinlaw, knee injury. Kevin Givens, hip injury. Emmanuel Mosley, a knee issue. Jalen Hurd, maintenance coming off of that torn ACL. So that's the injury report for Wednesday's practice, as we're only a couple of days away from the Niners kicking off the season against the Lions. Sounds like Kinlaw should be able to practice at the end of this week, should be able to play. At least that's the sense I got, that it's trending in that direction. Let's hope so, because I think he is a breakout candidate in year 2 for this Niners defense. Here's also something that we have to mention and monitor. Emmanuel Mosley, with that knee injury that he has. That's been a big reason and was a big reason why the Niners brought in Josh Norman. I thought Shanahan kind of indicated that with the verbiage that he used and the way that he kind of talked about this. He did mention Josh Norman. Not sure if he's going to play on Sunday against the Lions either, which is somewhat understandable. Didn't play at all, obviously, because he wasn't with the team in preseason or in training camp. Shanahan did say, though, that Josh Norman looks to be in pretty solid shape. Got a lot of games under his belt, of course, as a former All-Pro and Pro Bowl cornerback, but looks to be somewhat in football shape. And I think if there are some injury issues in the secondary going into week 1, maybe you can get away with playing Josh Norman, let's say 10 to 20 snaps against that Lions offense come Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, before I get out of here, you got to join us for a 49ers-Lions watch party for the season opener on Sunday. Going to be going live around 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 9:45 a.m. Pacific for a 49ers-Lions watch party. We did watch parties for all 3 preseason games. Thousands of people watched us. What can you expect if you didn't join us? Live play-by-play, live analysis, live stats, live scoreboard. I'll be taking your questions all throughout the broadcast as well. We'll have some beers to celebrate football season being back. Make sure you subscribe and join us for that watch party on Sunday. This has been the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr. Had to bring you a video because of all of the important and notable things that Kyle Shanahan had to say. As always, we appreciate you making the show and the channel a part of your day.